Hi, my student. Our lesson today we talk about blood transfusion. Yes, we talk about the types of blood circulation. There are three types of blood circulation. That is systematic circulation, or it's called large blood circulation, pulmonary circulation, or it's called small blood circulation, and partial circulation. Then we talk about blood groups. And we say there are four types of groups in any human is group A, group B, group AB, and O. Then we talk about RH factor and the blood clotting. Let us to complete this by talking about blood transfusion. Blood transfusion. Blood manufacturing is not possible in factories or laboratories. We cannot manufacture the blood in factories or in laboratories. Why? Because blood contains living cells. This is the answer. Why the blood manufacturing is not possible in factories. In factories or laboratories, because blood contains living cells. Also, all trials are failed to use the animal's blood instead of the human blood, or to substitute the loss of the blood. For this reason, for these two reasons, what is the reasons? That is, the blood is contain living cell. Blood is not possible to manufacture in factories or laboratories, and also all traces are failed to use the animal's blood instead of the human blood, or to substitute the loss of the blood. For this reason, the human can receive blood only from another human, A blood donation is a national and humanitarian service. There are some conditions to blood transfusion, very important conditions, such the age of person who donate blood mustn't be younger than 17 and older than 55. Women who donate blood must not be pregnant or nursing the child. The hospitals store the blood in glasses, tubes or plastic containers which contain heparin. Why these containers or glasses which used to save the blood contain heparin? Why? Because heparin prevents the blood clotting during the blood storage, and the blood mustn't be stored in special refrigerators, or must be stored in special refrigerators. Also, each container must be labeled by writing the blood group AB, ABO, and donation date. Why? Because if the blood is stored more than 3 weeks, this blood cannot be transfused to the patient. Yes. Lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic system, when we talk about circulatory system, we say it is divided into two systems, that is blood circulation and lymphatic circulation. Lymphatic system or lymphatic circulation. Lymphatic system composed of what? Lymphatic vessels, and lymph nodes or glands, and some organs. Now list the components of or parts of lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is composed of lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, glands, and some organs. During the circulation in capillaries, the water or simple food, the nutrients and oxygen diffuse into the intracellular space. Additionally, a small quantity of blood plasma is filtered into the intracellular space. This plasma is called as tissue fluid. Now, what is tissue fluid? Tissue fluid is, we can say, tissue fluid is a small quantity of blood plasma which filtered into the intracellular space. Now, when this fluid is absorbed by the lymphatic vessels, it's called lymph. Now, what is lymph? Lymph is the tissue fluid which is absorbed by the lymphatic vessels. Yes. The structure of the lymph look like the blood, but it doesn't contain red blood cells. Now we can ask, what is the difference between lymph and blood? And we can answer, the structure of lymph is look like blood, but it doesn't contain red blood cells. The lymph contain white blood cells which penetrates the walls of blood capillaries by means of amoebic motion. This is about a lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, we say it consists of lymphatic vessels, lymphatic nodes, lymph, and organs. Yes, we start with lymphatic vessels. What is lymphatic vessels? Lymphatic vessels collect the lymph or tissue fluid and waste products from the intracellular space between cells and transport them into the blood. Also, there are valves. There are valves in lymphatic vessels which provide, what is the importance of these valves that's found in lymphatic vessels? The importance of these valves in lymphatic vessels which provide the flowing of lymph in one direction. What is the main function of lymphatic vessels? Lymphatic vessels collect the lymph or tissue fluid and waste products from the intracellular space and transport them into blood. We can ask a presence of valves in lymphatic vessels. Why? Which we can say it is provide the flowing of lymph in one direction only. Yes. And the meeting point, lymphatic ducts. In the meeting point of the lymph vessels, some swelling forms. These swelling are called as lymph nodes or lymph glands. Lymph nodes or lymph glands, we can say. These nodes contain a great amount of white blood cells. They clear the lymph from bacteria and other harmful material. Now, what is lymphatic nodes or lymphatic glands? Other name, correspond name. Lymphatic nodes, or it's called lymphatic glands, are the swelling from in the meeting point of lymph vessels. These nodes contain a great amount of white blood cells. What is the function of the lymphatic nodes? Location and function. Location in the meeting point of lymph vessels. Function, they clear the lymph from bacteria and other harmful materials. Lymphatic nodes are distributed in different parts of the body, such as limbs, tonsils, necks, and other parts of the body. Lymphatic nodes may be swell and inflamed. Why? Because as a result of resistance against bacteria. Because it is resistance the bacteria, for that it can inflame or swell. Yes. This is about the lymphatic vessels or lymphatic nodes. Lymphatic ducts. Lymphatic ducts are distributed in different parts of the body. We say they contents are secreted into two main ducts. That is right lymphatic duct. It is collect the lymph from the upper right parts of the body and head, neck, trachea, and some part of the liver, and transport into the right subclavian vein near the heart. And the left lymphatic ducts, or it's called in other name, correspond name. We must be cared for this correspond name. Left lymphatic ducts, or it's called thoracic duct. and it is largest lymphatic duct in the body. It's collect the lymph from the other parts of the body and transported it to the left subclavian vein. Spleen. We say there are organs related with the lymphatic system, such as spleen. What is spleen? Spleen is the largest organ of the lymphatic system, and it is bright. What is the characters? It is the largest organ on the lymphatic system, a bright red organ located beneath the stomach. It is look like lymphatic nodes, but it connected with the blood in state of lymph. Yes, we can ask, what are the importances of spleen? And there are many importances of spleen, such as store a great amount of blood, contributes in maintaining of blood percentage in blood vessels. Why? Because it stores a great amount of blood. It produces red blood cells. We can add it. Decomposed old red blood cells when bone marrow is not producing them. Clear the blood from debris inside it. Other question. Spleen become enlarged sometimes. Why? When it is infected with some disease such as malaria and anemia become enlarged. Yes, stethoscope. It is an instrument used by doctors to what? To listen to patient heart or breathing. Some disease of the circulatory system. The circulatory system is affected with number of disease such as arteriosclerosis, high and low blood pressure, hemorrhage, and heart disease. Blood pressure, the first and the most important disease is blood pressure. Some people suffer from high blood pressure, whereas others suffer from low blood pressure. Both cases are dangerous for human. What is blood pressure? It is the force of blood on the walls of arteries due to the contraction of ventricles. The blood pressure is measured by special apparatus called sphygmomanometer, which is fixed on the radius artery. When the ventricle contract, the blood pressure increase, and when the ventricles relax, the blood pressure decrease. The blood pressure varies according to the people, and also it is varies in the same person depending on the mood situation. Yes, the blood pressure in children is less than an adult, and it is less in women than in men. The blood pressure reduced during sleeping, and it is increased during awakening, when working and performing sport. Prevention. The average high blood pressure is between 12 to 15 millimeters. But the average low pressure is between 8 to 9. The continuous high blood pressure hypertension causes damage on the walls of the fine capillaries.